Hi guys, it's Tarot Toad, and I want to give a shout out to my tarot buddy Tracy for cluing me into this great book, the Tarot Playbook by Linda Cowles. 78 ways to connect with your cards. I am going to do an exercise in this book that relates to the High Priestess. Can I just tell you how beautiful this deck is? Look at this box. Ooh, let me open it. Can't open it with one hand. So, look at that pretty inside cover. We've got a companion book, full color. Look at that. Beautiful. I don't know, it might be hard for me to pick my least favorites in this deck. And then here are all the cards. So I'm gonna lay them all out. In this exercise, it asks you to get a deck out and, pardon my phone, and you're going to pick your favorites and your least favorites from the major arcana suit, minors, aces, numbered wands, numbered cups, all the way to a favorite or least favorite card in the entire deck. They say this is a way for you to connect to your cards and to also, once I've picked my favorites and least favorites, I'm supposed to leave a swatch of paper in the deck and then revisit it after a time, even a month's time or even longer, to see if my feelings have changed. So I'm going to lay out all the cards in this beautiful deck, the Wizard's Tarot by Barbara Moore, and we're gonna pick my favorites and least favorites. Let's go. So coming in for my favorite major is the Strength card. And I think it was my favorite because, like, look at that dragon. That reminds me of the Game of Thrones. Look at the magical wand, you know, the little, the pixie dust that's going across. And look at the claws of that dragon. I mean, they could pierce and kill her at any moment, but she's got her hand on that dragon, and there is an understanding between the two of them. And I thought it was just an incredible card. So my least favorite major was the Justice card. And it was simply for no other reason than it just didn't have a whole lot going on other than the typical justice scales. The next category was my favorite ace in the bunch. And I chose the Ace of Swords. And I think the reason I liked it was the ethereal quality to it, plus all the little fireflies going around, kind of signifying that bright idea. And then all the little sparkly, probably butterflies depicting ideas. It was just, it really caught my eye. For my least favorite ace, I picked the Ace of Wands. And again, I think it's beautiful, but if I had to pick one, probably this one because it's predictable. For my favorite wand, I chose the 2. And I think it was because when I looked at this picture, I could really see the determination that this character had in trying to make a decision, and that decision needs to light his fire, which you can see the glow of the ball and, the kind of ethereal green quality. I just love the books. I love the tapestries. I love the ships and the windows. It was just a beautiful card. For my least favorite wand, I picked the 3 because I guess I've learned that the Three of Wands is about embarking, and this dude doesn't look like he's going anywhere. He's just kind of sitting there. It just doesn't embody the meaning for me, or at least what I think the meaning means. For my favorite Cups card, I chose the Four of Cups, simply because I think this dude is clearly not seeing the golden chalices around him. He definitely seems bored, but how could you be bored with all of those books all around you? I just thought it really embodied kind of the apathy of the Four of Cups. Least favorite Cups card, I chose the Two. I am used to seeing, people smiling at each other, maybe, and maybe this is wizard love, but I just wasn't feeling it. For my favorite swords card, I chose the Six. Again, I'm all for sparkle, and it looks like this dude is magically getting that girl and her child out of there. The old traditional card is the boat, but I just really like the alleyway and them like speeding out of town under the cover of night. My least favorite swords, I chose the Nine. And I chose that because this reminds me of the people who lay on the bed of nails, where, you think it's going to hurt them, but it really doesn't. And it doesn't make me feel the anguish and the worry and the guilt and oppression that this card should typically depict. For my favorite pentacle, I chose the Three, and I feel like there is, some magic happening here. This card's about teamwork and, creating some sort of, or highlighting ability. And I really felt that, okay, we're reading the ingredient list, we're adding some stuff to the cauldron, we've got the oversight of the wizard in the back. I really do see teamwork and collaboration here. For my least favorite pentacle, I chose the Nine. I do think she looks self-confident and, has achieved things, but it just didn't evoke anything in me. And what's interesting is this is the image on the cover art of the box. The next category was my favorite numbered minor overall, and I had to choose the Eight of Pentacles. I just love that she's got all the different pentacles up on these shelves, displaying her work. You can see the magic happening with the sparkles near her brush. I love the books and the lantern. Everything about this really screams Eight of Pentacles. My least favorite numbered minor overall was the Three of Swords. And as I look at it now, I'm not sure I agree that it's my least favorite, because I should have looked a little closer, because I really see that the swords are cutting through that witch's hat, and it's like cutting through the truth. I mean, honestly, there's not a bad card in this deck, but if I have to pick one, I guess I would pick this one. Next, we were asked to pick our favorite Wands court card, and I chose the Page. I kind of like how it looks like he's practicing, getting that wand going. He's got the energy on the head of the wand, and, it's like he's coming into his own. My least favorite wand court card was the King of Wands. And honestly, what's the dude doing? My favorite Cups court was the King of Cups, and I can't really tell you why, because he doesn't really look like he's doing anything other than riding on a throne above the water, which I guess is miraculous. But that look on his face, his eyes, it's like he's zoned out or something. It's just kind of a little eerie. My least favorite Cups court card, I guess, would be the Knight, and it's just him riding on a horse through the water, and his hair looks good. Even the horse's mane looks good, but other than that, I don't feel much from it. My favorite Swords court card, I think, would be the Knight. There's a lot of action going on here. Love the girl's outfit, her desire, her just go-gettedness. The horse is jumping over that log. I'm really feeling into it. My least favorite Swords court would have to be the King. And same question, what's the dude doing? I like the library, but not getting much else from it. My favorite Pentacle court, I would say, would be the Page. I'm loving all of the colors, and again, I'm a sucker for sparkle, and it's like she's playing with that pentacle and, you know, making stuff happen, and it's a beautiful card. My least favorite Pentacle court would have to be the Knight. Dude's on a horse. Don't see a lot of other things other than, I think, the clocks, the pentacle clocks in the tree are pretty cool. Then we were asked to pick our favorite page out of the 4 suits, and I had to say I'd pick the Page of Cups. I love how you've got the fish there in the cup, and it's popping out. There's a lot of water, a lot of sparkle and sun. Just a really beautiful card. I would say my least favorite page is the Swords. You know, dude's on a rock, you know, swishing his sword around. Not much else to say. My favorite Knight has to be the Knight of Swords. Again, we've got old girl on the horse, all decked out, all fashionista, jumping over that log, heading somewhere important. My least favorite Knight, I would say, is the Pentacles, simply because there's just not a lot going on in the card, again, other than the clocks that happen to be growing out of the tree. My favorite Queen, I say, would be the Queen of Cups. And again, just like her counterpart, the King, look at her stare. You know, she's not at all concerned that she's sitting halfway in the water and she's pouring water into the water. There are a lot of questions here, and I think that's why I like this card. My least favorite Queen, I mean, again, the card's beautiful, but she's just a pretty girl sitting in a throne. My favorite King would be the King of Cups. again, this is kind of a haunting photo. It's like he's in a daze or something. Maybe he has command of the water and he's not concerned that he is floating on this, you know, tumultuous sea. It's just eerie again. And my least favorite king, I would say again, would be the King of Swords, because I just am not feeling much from the picture. Then I was asked to vote on my favorite court cards overall, and I had to choose the Cups. Again, these folks are in the water and don't seem to mind it, but there is kind of a hypnotic quality to the cards, and in this quiet powerfulness to the cards, and the tumultuous and the calm waters of emotions. I could go on, but I won't. My least favorite court group overall, I would say, would be the Swords. Again, simply because they're just kind of looking pretty. They're, yeah. My favorite minor suit overall, I would say, would have to be the Cups. Lots of fun stuff going on. I can definitely feel the emotion out of each of these cards, and for the most part, I can translate them easily if I were to see them. And my least favorite minor group overall, I would say, would be the Wands. And again, there isn't, I mean, all these cards are so beautiful, but if I had to pick one group, I guess it would be the Wands. Okay, and then the final one is my favorite card in the deck overall, bar none. But instead of telling you what my favorite card is, I'm going to start with my least favorite, which again is the Justice card, because I just feel like there could have been more in this card than there is. But my favorite card in the deck overall, bar none, has got to be the Eight of Pentacles. I love this girl working hard at her craft, being proud of what she's doing, displaying proudly the pentacles that she has created, the little light flickers, the books. There's a lot of love for that card. So this was indeed an interesting exercise. As you can see, my God, these cards are all stunning. Stunning cards. So it was hard to pick my least favorite, but I followed the rules, and I did. I followed the rules. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey, looking at your favorites and least favorites, and then I'll have to check back and tell you if anything has changed over time. The whole purpose of the exercise is just to see how, your first impressions land, and if you do change your opinion over time. I definitely encourage anybody to do this exercise as well. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. A total bye.